All right, so I just came back from my military work. But anyway, I'm gonna cover the news pretty quickly today because there's some very good news for us, especially if you look at the futures right now. Okay, the SPY is up, the Nasdaq is up. All of them are basically still going up and up. Okay, even oil prices is kind of going up a little bit, but it's all right. Okay, later on we will actually talk more about Chinese stocks. I think that's one of the most important news that we have today. Okay, so anyway, without further ado, let's cover some news today. All right, so first up, we gotta say China to conclude adidas cybersecurity probe lift bans on new users. So for people who remember what happened in 2021, I believe, Didi came out with an IPO. A month after the IPO, basically, China came in with all the regulation coming in, cybersecurity probes and such. All those actually affected Didi so much to the point where Didi's price went all the way from $20+ all the way to $1. Okay, price went all the way down, and even now, Didi basically got delisted. Okay, so right now, let's put the delisting aside. Okay, but right now, what China is basically saying is that they're going to be concluding all the cybersecurity probe, and they're going to be lifting ban on new users. That's going to be huge because that means innovation is coming back to China again. And this is going to be bring back to one of the news segment that I actually spoke about last week, which is, do you think that maybe innovation, growth, tech, and all this sort of growth style play is going to be happening back in Chinese stocks? Okay, look at Alibaba. Okay, look at Alibaba right now. They're up almost 7%. Oh, well, 6.54% at the moment in the pre-market. Okay, Futu up about 6%. Okay, you look at what's JD? Let me just put in JD.com. JD.com up 5.5%. And I think Pinduoduo, which is PDD, PDD is up at 7.5%. So I'm pretty sure that a lot of these Chinese stocks are all moving faster and faster, especially with something of the like this news. Okay, something like this news. Let's be honest here. Okay, it's huge. Okay, Chinese regulator are concluding year-long probes into ride-hailing giant Didi and two other US listed tech firm. Okay, and the other two would be the Food Truck Alliance and also the recruitment firm Kanzuan, back on the domestic app store. Okay. Pause his campaign to tighten his grip on hometown tech giant and their troves of data. I think this is huge. And I think this actually came as a revelation for China because they think that, they have been controlling so much of the cybersecurity side of things. They are controlling a lot of the probes and such. By then controlling so much of it, they are really limiting a lot of growth for a lot of their companies. And right now, especially, as we all already kind of expect it to be, China is in recession. Okay, and if China is in recession, it kind of it doesn't really take two brains to really think that China is in recession. Okay, they're still going on and on about their zero COVID policy right now. Okay, and we can see that their GDP is obviously going down as well. Okay, so I think that this is really one of the best time. Okay, for China to basically just be like, you know what? How about we let our tech giants, let them loose again and let them go higher and higher, because they are the only ones that can actually compete on a world scale with other companies right now, especially with what China is going through. Especially, let's not forget, Evergrande basically set them back to one step forward, 5 step back with Evergrande. Okay, and with this whole zero COVID policy, it's like 3 steps forward, 1 step back, that sort of thing. And I do think that because of that, China is definitely all the way on their back leg right now. They need to move a step forward, and I think by doing so, they just need to let tech do what's best. And yeah, I'm living for this. Honestly, okay. I just want to check. Actually, I did not check this. What's NEO doing? Because I bought a lot of a NEO. Oh, that is tasty. NEO is up 4.7%. And like I said, I thought that NEO made sense for me to buy into. I might make a video about it. I'm not sure. I might make a video about NEO, talking about why I actually bought into NEO. But stay tuned. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm going to be making a video. Okay, but anyway, let's move on to the next news. Okay. The next news, let's move over to Bloomberg because that's more important. Stock rise as China reopening offset rate fears. This is huge, like I said before. Okay, stocks in Europe gain along with US equity futures. Okay, Beijing further eased COVID restriction, which is huge, okay, reopening, okay, helping soothe a fragile mood amid inflation and rate hike concerns, okay. Europe up because of copper, okay, futures is up, great. Chinese regulator set to ease curbs on rate, hailing a giant, okay. Yeah, Didi went up by 52%. I did not even realize Didi went up by that much. I don't really have Didi in my list anymore because I thought that they kind of delisted and I didn't care. Yow! Whoa! Didi is at $2.80. Oh my God! One whole dollar's above. That's crazy. Okay. Stronger than forecast US hiring data for May suggested that the Federal Reserve won't waver from its tightening path to rein in price pressure. Goldman Sachs economist said that the Fed may be able to pull off its aggressive rate hike plan without tipping the country into recession. So, of course, they're talking about going into a soft or softish landing, according to Jerome Powell. Yeah, no idea if that's going to be the case just yet. All right, anyway, let's move on to the next one. Dollar climb stalls amid mixed economic signals. So, behind the recent slip in the US currency is a subtle shift in the economic landscape. Okay, so let's read a little bit into this. Behind the slip has been a subtle shift. American consumers are still spending money at a rapid pace, while employers keep adding jobs, extending the trends that have helped lift the dollar over the past 12 months or so. Yet there have always been signs of weakness elsewhere. Wage growth has moderated from last year, and consumers have already been able to sustain their spending only by dipping into savings. The US service sector, which includes restaurant, dining, and travel, slowed its pace of expansion in May. The sales of new homes in April posted their biggest drop in 9 years. Okay, investors typically buy currencies linked to the country where central banks are raising interest rates to rein into a hard economy. Investors expect the Fed to leave rates by a total of 1 percentage point in June and July, but what will follow is harder to determine. As a result, traders now contend that the dollar is more sensitive than usual to economic releases on the horizon. The market went through 6 weeks of thinking the sky is the limit for the Fed, and now I think that the dollar has topped out. So yeah, okay, pretty cool. I do think that this actually still plays into a lot of what the Federal Reserve can actually do. I do think that it's going to be very, very interesting for us to look into the CPI again, which I will most likely be making a video for Wednesday, which should be my CPI prediction, what to look out for CPI. That sort of video, I think that's a very, very important video for me to actually upload for you guys. But yeah, all right, moving on to the next news. Boris Johnson faces confidence vote over lockdown parties. So yeah, okay, for people who are unaware, during the peak of the pandemic, basically Boris Johnson went for some parties with some of the cabinet members of some sort, even though they were supposedly in lockdown. And I think right now Boris Johnson is just going through a confidence vote if he can continue. The Conservative lawmakers is expected to take place in Parliament on Monday. So yeah, interesting, I guess. Has previously said that he will fight any challenge to his leadership if Johnson, as many expect, wins the vote. He can be challenged for another year. But even if he does win, the damage to his political authority in the party could be considerable. Previous Conservative prime ministers have survived confidence vote only to then decide to quit soon after. Tonight is a chance to end months of speculation and allow the government to draw a line and move on. Okay, so yeah. I think that because this definitely is moving the British pound a lot as well, of course, with how Boris Johnson holding on to quite an essential role in the country as well. And of course, I do think that because of this entire confidence vote, I think that the pound actually went down a little bit. But we have a lot of people who are actually buying in because expecting that Boris Johnson would continue to stay in because they are expecting this confidence vote to go well for Boris Johnson. So I think that, personally, I am not that huge a fan of Boris Johnson, but honestly speaking, in this current pandemic and in this current market cycle, you can't really blame a lot of people. So I'm cool with that, I guess. All right, next up. Let's see if Bloomberg have anything else, because I just got a notification from Bloomberg. Oh, okay, never mind. Barely anything. That's cool. All right, Alibaba. Let's go. Ant unveils Singapore digital bank in Southeast Asian push. So Jack Ma's Ant Group launched its digital bank in Singapore. Hello. As China's largest online financial platform, branches out of its home market amid regulatory headwinds. ANEX Bank will provide a digital financial service to micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise, particularly those with cross-border operations, it said in a statement on Monday. The fintech giant is entering an arena dominated by traditional incumbents, including DBS, OCBC. Using Singapore as the base for its business in Southeast Asia may offset slower growth prospect at home after government ordered regulatory overhauls. Part owned by Alibaba, and can also benefit from the e-commerce operators unit in the region, Lazada. Okay, so I do think that this is a very, very smart move by Ant. Okay, it's true that they are going to be entering into a traditionally dominated region. For Singapore, DBS, OCBC, UOB, we have strong banks actually holding on to this position. I do think that having ANEX, having a financial tech company coming in would actually change things up a little bit. Okay, because in Singapore, for our financial company, we don't really have fintech companies as much as the US, the European countries and such. We don't really have exactly fintech. Okay, and I think that it's about time that DBS and OCBC get challenged a little bit. Okay, I'm happy to see that that's going to be the case. And of course, it kind of makes sense for Alibaba to actually come in here. Okay, because they already have their own e-commerce operating system, which is Lazada. And having Lazada there, they can do a lot of different methods of them actually promoting this new fintech account, card, whatsoever it is. You want to do it by credit, you want to do it by debit, I don't care. Okay, there's going to be a lot of layaway model. I can see it already. There's going to be a lot of layaway, aka buy now, pay later. Okay, I can see that happening for ANEX. Okay, and I do think that especially for the micro and small and medium-sized enterprise, especially those with cross-border operations, especially towards China, I would assume, okay, those are also going to be working particularly well. Okay, and let's not forget from the first news that we had today about DDs. Okay, the whole cybersecurity probe, all the regulatory stuff is going to be eased off as well. So I do think that this might actually come in at a very, very nice time. Okay, which is why I do think that Alibaba might surprisingly be a good buy in the very, very near future. Okay, right now I'm not sure if I'm that comfortable in just immediately getting into Alibaba immediately. Okay, but I'm not going to lie. Okay, people who are getting into Alibaba, or people who already have Alibaba, okay, if you intend to hold on to Alibaba, okay, I would think it is a good time for you to actually dollar cost average. I hope that you already dollar cost average in the past 5 months that you were given, but if you haven't, okay, Alibaba might actually be going back up. Okay, but of course, like I said, no promises, not investment advice. Okay, not financial advice. I'm not sure what's going to be happening, but I do think that if your average is too high for a lot of people, I do know a lot of people who hold Alibaba with pretty high averages. This might actually be a good time for you to start reviewing your own portfolio averages. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is Ukraine leaders. Putin warns of new targets as the UK to send rockets. The UK plans to send rocket system to Ukraine that will let it strike a location as far as 80 kilometers away less than a week after the US said it will provide similar weapons. Okay, like I said, I think this, I actually talked a lot about this in the previous news when US actually sent over this advanced rocket system over. And I do think that UK will most likely be putting up the same amount of rules for Ukraine as well, which is you can only use this to defend yourself, defend your airspace, not to use it as a retaliation method to just start something against Russia. Because if that were to ever happen, UK is going to get pulled into this whole entire thing as well, because UK was the one who provided the weapons over to Ukraine, and if Ukraine shot it, Russia can effectively just want to start a war with UK, whatever it is, so on and so forth. Okay. So Zelensky visited troops near the front in the southern region of Zaporizhzhia, about 60% of which is occupied by the Russian army. Kiev said a Russian general was killed in the fighting. Russia has agreed with Turkey and Ukraine on a preliminary plan to ship Ukrainian grain from Odessa, is Vestia reported, citing an unidentified person familiar with the matter. Okay. Let's see. Ukraine says the Russian general was killed at 8:31 a.m. Turkey agreed to plan to ship grain at 5:24 a.m. and then UK said yesterday, effectively. So yeah, those are just some of the updates on the whole Russia-Ukraine situation. But anyway, that's all I think we have for today's news. Pretty solid. Okay, I think that today we might actually see some good movement in the market. I'm actually very excited because I already got rid of all my covered call position. I'm actually fully bullish into the market already. Okay, but of course I'm not sure if there is going to be any changes in the market where make me want to move away again. Okay, but right now I'm not doing any sort of bearish short-term play. Even to farm premium or whatnot, because I don't think that that's going to kind of work out well for me, kind of. Okay, so yeah, but similarly, again, get out of margin. I don't care. This is straight up your financial advice. If you really needed one, get out of margin. Okay, you should not be in margin. This should be your financial advice. Okay, because you should not be in margin in this kind of market. Even if you are that confident, okay, you should have the money, because any money that's in the market right now, any wins that you have right now is not going to be a long-term win. Okay, you can see things always changing. One inflation report can suddenly skew your entire operation. Okay, one missile attacking Russia by accident is going to skew your entire operation. Okay, so get out of margin. Just play with what you can. Okay, play with the portfolio that you can afford to lose. Do not get into margin. But anyway, that's all I have for today. And I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.